Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me today. The world is full of noise, so much noise. Everywhere you look, it's constant chatter, constant commentary. Everyone has something to say, and everyone is looking for their voice to be heard. But there is a different kind of power in silence, a subtle yet profound strength in choosing when not to speak. In today's world, where the volume of our words often feels like a reflection of our worth, we must remember that silence can speak louder than any shout. Women who stay silent in the face of adversity, in the face of challenges, often win the loudest battles. Their quiet resilience is a force that is understated but undeniably powerful. They may not raise their voices, but their presence is felt, their actions are seen, and their strength, unspoken, is undeniable. The battles they fight are often invisible, but the results, they speak for themselves. They speak for themselves and openly praise the well-known and successful. Now, I'm not saying silence is always the answer, nor that silence is always powerful. What I'm saying is that sometimes in the noise of the world, the loudest, most enduring victories come not from what we say, but from how we choose to remain steadfast and true to ourselves without uttering a word. So let's take a step back today. Let's reflect on why silence, especially for women who face unrelenting pressure, is often the key to winning battles that can never truly be won with mere words. Let me take you through 5 key moments of reflection on this idea. In the hustle and bustle of our daily lives, there's an assumption that louder is better. We've been conditioned to think that the more we say, the more we prove our worth, and the more we make ourselves heard. But what happens when we choose silence instead? What happens when a woman faced with unfairness, injustice, or adversity chooses not to respond? In this quiet moment, something profound happens. You see someone who's suffering. Silence is not absence, it's a deliberate act. It's an act of strength, resilience, and inner peace. When a woman chooses to stay silent, she isn't submitting to her circumstances. She is choosing the high ground. There is power in knowing that her worth is not determined by how loud she can be. This kind of silence isn't weakness, it's strength. She understands that the real battle lies within herself, not in the noise around her. In moments when words fail us, silence becomes the language of wisdom. A woman who remains silent knows how to conserve her energy for the things that matter. She doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. This is her quiet strength in action. When you can face life's challenges without allowing the world's noise to distract you, you demonstrate an internal resilience that speaks volumes. The battle is fought not on the outside, but in the stillness of the mind and heart. Silence is also a tool for reflection. It provides the space to think, to plan, and to understand what's happening. When we speak too quickly, we often miss important details that could turn the course of a conversation or a situation. The woman who remains silent takes the time to assess, to gather her thoughts, and to formulate a strategy. She knows that sometimes the best response is to remain calm and composed while the storm rages around her. It was not a long time ago where she had to strive for anonymously. There is no need for her to rush into conflict or to give in to pressure. In fact, silence often forces others to reveal their true intentions. When she remains quiet, the world is forced to reckon with her strength, not her words. Her silence becomes her statement. It forces others to listen to her actions, and in many cases, they are louder than words could ever be. The real beauty of quiet strength is in how it transforms those around her. A woman who is strong enough to remain silent in difficult situations becomes an example to others. She teaches them that they don't need to react to every injustice or every slight. Instead, they can choose when and where to direct their energy. This is the kind of leadership that doesn't need a microphone to be heard. It's a kind of leadership that resonates deeply, creating ripples in the world. In the end, silence is a weapon that is often underestimated, but those who understand it, who wield it wisely, know its true power. It is the power of quiet strength, of the ability to remain composed, of choosing your battles carefully, and of trusting that your actions will speak louder than your words ever could. There's a certain kind of wisdom in knowing when to remain silent. In the face of conflict, confrontation, or attack, silence can be the ultimate defense. When someone lashes out, whether it's in anger or frustration, the expectation is often that we will react in kind. The world has trained us to respond to aggression with aggression, to respond to harsh words with harsh words. But what if the most powerful response is to simply say nothing at all? In these moments, silence is not a sign of submission, it's a sign of control. It's an acknowledgement that not every battle requires a reaction. By staying silent, a woman shows that she is above the petty words of others. She chooses not to let the noise around her distract her from what truly matters. She does not allow herself to be drawn into unnecessary conflict. Her silence is a shield that protects her from the chaos and confusion that others seek to create. When faced with criticism or negativity, silence allows space for clarity. It gives the mind time to think, to evaluate, and to respond with intention rather than reacting in haste. When a woman faces unjust criticism or harsh words, her silence allows her to stand tall, to hold her ground without engaging in unnecessary drama. She understands that the moment you lower yourself to meet negativity, you've already lost the battle. Silence also forces others to reconsider their actions. When someone expects a fiery response but is met with calm, quiet resolve, it can be disarming. It's like a mirror held up to the aggressor. They're forced to confront the futility of their own actions. The woman who remains silent in these situations sends a message that she is not interested in playing games. She's too focused on her purpose, too secure in her worth to let anything or anyone derail her. This strategic silence has another layer. It shows that a woman is not reactive but thoughtful. She isn't quick to make judgments or decisions based on impulse. Instead, she lets things settle, and only then does she act. And when she does, her actions carry the weight of carefully considered thought. Her silence is a form of self-protection, a shield against the forces that would otherwise throw her off course. Isu setting, a shield against the forces that would otherwise throw her off course. In some cases, silence can turn the tide of an argument. When we respond with silence instead of words, we remove the ammunition from the other person's hands. They're left to grapple with their own words, their own energy. In this way, silence becomes the most powerful form of self-defense. It's a way to regain control of a situation and to ensure that our response, if any, is one that is measured and deliberate. In the end, the woman who chooses silence in the face of attack is often the one who emerges victorious. She has refused to play the game by their rules. She has taken the high road, showing that she is above the noise, above the chaos, and that her peace cannot be disrupted by petty words or actions. Silence is often misunderstood as passivity, but in reality, it can be a powerful tool for empowerment. A woman who chooses silence is not giving up her power. In fact, she is asserting it in ways that cannot be measured by the external world. She is choosing to empower herself by controlling the energy she expends and how she directs it. Thank you. There's little to say about that. Empowerment often comes from within. It's a deep sense of knowing one's worth, regardless of external validation. When a woman chooses silence, she is stepping into that power. She is no longer relying on others' approval or attention. Her silence is a declaration that she doesn't need the validation of others to know her value. She is confident in who she is, and she does not need to announce it to the world. This self-empowerment is about choice. The woman who chooses silence does so because she understands that she has the power to control her reactions. She doesn't allow others to dictate how she should respond or feel. She is free to act according to her own principles and beliefs, rather than being swayed by the opinions and judgments of others. Silence allows space for introspection and self-discovery. When we are constantly speaking, constantly reacting to the world around us, we lose touch with ourselves. Silence is the space where we can reconnect with who we truly are. Without the distractions and noise of the outside world, it's in this quiet space that we can find our true strength and purpose. Empowerment also comes from the ability to remain centered, even in difficult situations. The woman who remains silent in the face of adversity demonstrates emotional strength. She does not let her emotions dictate her actions. Instead, she chooses to respond from a place of inner peace and stability. This inner power is unshakable. It is the kind of strength that comes from knowing that you are enough, regardless of what the world may say. In this way, silence is not just an absence of sound, it is a form of communication that transcends words. It is a communication that speaks volumes about self-respect, inner strength, and personal empowerment. The woman who knows when to remain silent is one who understands her own power and is able to wield it in the most profound and impactful ways. Ultimately, silence is a tool that allows a woman to tap into her own sense of self-worth and power. It's a tool for self-empowerment that cannot be taken away or diminished by anyone else. It's hers, and it's powerful. Silent resilience is one of the most underrated forces in the world. It is the ability to endure, to stand firm in the face of adversity without ever having to announce your strength. The woman who remains silent through trials and tribulations does not do so because she is weak or helpless. She does so because she understands that resilience is not about shouting your struggles to the world. It's about enduring with grace, dignity, and unwavering strength. Silent resilience doesn't seek recognition. It doesn't ask for applause or sympathy. Instead, it simply persists. It is the quiet determination to keep moving forward, no matter the circumstances. A woman who embodies silent resilience understands that life will throw its challenges at her, but she will continue to rise above them. She is not defined by her struggles, but by her ability to overcome them without ever needing to say a word. This form of resilience is also incredibly powerful because it cannot be easily disrupted. The woman who stays silent in the face of hardship doesn't seek validation from others. She is impervious to the judgment and criticism of those who may not understand her. Instead, she lets her actions speak for her. Each step forward, each challenge faced and overcome is a testament to her resilience. This resilience is also contagious. When others witness a woman's ability to endure in silence, it encourages them to tap into their own strength. They see that they too can stand strong even in the face of adversity. They learn from her quiet example that strength isn't always loud. It can be the ability to endure and to continue moving forward, even when the world feels like it's trying to bring you down. Silent resilience requires patience, both with yourself and with others. It requires a deep understanding that life's challenges are temporary and that you have the ability to withstand whatever comes your way. It is the resilience that comes from within, an inner knowing that no matter what, you will survive and you will thrive. In the end, silent resilience is a form of quiet revolution. It challenges the idea that we need to announce our struggles, our pain, or our strength to be acknowledged. Instead, it proves that sometimes the most powerful victories are the ones that are won in silence. There is a saying, "Still waters run deep," and in many ways, silence is the same. It is through silence that wisdom emerges. A woman who is able to remain silent in moments of pressure or conflict is not just holding back from reacting, she's allowing herself the space to reflect, to process, and to understand. Wisdom doesn't come from reacting to every situation, it comes from reflection and thought. When we speak too quickly, when we react without considering the consequences, we often miss the deeper truth. The woman who remains silent in such moments has the foresight to know that there is more to the situation than meets the eye. She understands that sometimes the best response is to observe, to listen, and to learn. Through silence, wisdom also finds its voice. The woman who remains calm in the face of chaos has the clarity to see things as they truly are. She isn't clouded by emotion or the noise of the world. Instead, she is able to tap into her deeper understanding of life. This wisdom is what allows her to navigate through the most complex and challenging situations with grace and poise. Silence allows us to access the deeper truths of the world. It is only in the quiet moments that we can truly hear ourselves and the world around us. The woman who understands the power of silence is one who knows how to use it as a tool for gaining clarity and insight. She recognizes that the loudest voices don't always have the most valuable things to say. In the end, silence leads to wisdom. It is through choosing silence that we become more attuned to the world around us and to the deeper currents of life. The woman who understands this is not just surviving, she is thriving, living a life of deeper understanding and insight. In a world that often rewards noise, there is an undeniable power in silence. Women who choose to remain silent in the face of challenges, who stand firm without raising their voices, often emerge as the quiet victors. Their strength, resilience, empowerment, and wisdom speak louder than any words ever could. In silence, they find the power to navigate the complexities of life. In silence, they assert their worth and their place in the world. Their silence is not an absence, it is a presence, one that demands respect, that commands attention and that creates change. The loudest battles are often won not with words, but with the quiet power of those who understand that silence, when used wisely, is the greatest weapon of all. Thank you.